ex-husband, who was ecstatic to marry a young wife, paid me well. My mother-in-law kept grinning, and my husband's existence was like air, empty until the end. I can't believe I was involved with such a family. Once single again, I applied for a transfer to a new department at work. I was transferred to a location slightly further away in the state. I used up the compensation I received on a trip overseas with friends to leave no regrets. I had been saving money for the child I was supposed to have someday, so I wasn't worried about my future life. It feels good to spend money on myself. I learned that the world is vast and full of enjoyable things, even without a husband or children. Feeling refreshed, I immersed myself in work and hobbies for a while and enjoyed my days. It was during such a time that I met a charming man after a long time. Our hobbies and values matched, and we had similar senses of humor. I couldn't help but have a great time when I was with him. He also had many nieces and nephews whom he adored. He said he would like to have children of his own, but he wouldn't feel lonely if he didn't. His parents also laughed, saying they already had enough grandchildren. 5 years after the divorce, I remarried him. I was 40 at the time, so I had given up on having children. But to my surprise, I found out I was pregnant, and it was twins of all things. My husband, who said he didn't care about the gender, was also overjoyed. In addition to being an older mother, I had twins. Due to pregnancy complications and being bedridden most of the time, my husband and in-laws went out of their way to take care of me. Even though they didn't say it, my parents had been worried about me all along, and they shed tears of joy when I announced my pregnancy. And the twins, a boy and a girl, were safely born. It was reassuring to have my experienced in-laws help with childcare. Parenting was quite challenging, but surrounded by a kind family, I was living happily every day. One day, I went to the largest shopping mall in the area. As I leisurely walked around the shops pushing a large stroller for the twins, I noticed a man staring at me intently. I wonder who he is. An acquaintance, perhaps? Ignoring my suspicious look, the man raised his voice. "Hey, Nora." "Is that you, Kenneth?" It was my ex-husband, whom I had separated from 5 years ago. After the divorce, my ex-husband was a recurring nightmare, but I had completely forgotten about him since becoming pregnant with twins. His face and physique had changed significantly. He had gained a lot of weight and looked very unhealthy. Do you have children?" He stared at the stroller with a bewildered expression. "Weren't you infertile?" This man, he still had the nerve. I told you many times, there was nothing wrong with my body. I'm not as incompetent as your mother says. Huh? Where is that voice coming from? Then I noticed a woman standing next to my ex-husband. In contrast to my overweight ex-husband, she looked like she had lost a lot of weight. From a distance, she seemed to be in her 40s, but upon closer inspection, she seemed to be not even in her 30s yet. There was only one person I could think of. Is this the current wife? Yes. Then, is she the one who you cheated on me with at that time? Huh? Cheated? Wait. The wife looked bewildered, and the ex-husband looked pale. I realized the awkward situation. Oh, so this guy messed up here too. You didn't know this guy was married. I heard he had divorced long before we started dating. His ex-wife left him because she couldn't have children. That's not true. It's because of me, who was trying to conceive. No way. I was introduced to you as her proud single son by your mother. His mother was in on it too. She drove me away for him to remarry you. Hey, enough already. My ex-husband panicked and tried to cover my mouth. I pushed his hand away. You're such a despicable man to blame infertility on your wife and cheat with a young girl. And I continued. But I'm glad you brought up divorce at that time. Even if the cause of infertility was because of you, I was planning to stay by your side forever. Thanks to you, I have these adorable twin babies. Goodbye, then. I smiled at my sleeping child in the stroller, then left as if showing off. Before parting ways, I wrote my phone number on the back of the shopping receipt. Then, I gently held the hand of the absent-minded woman standing nearby. It felt cold, rough, and sadly empty. "It's not your fault." I could tell her thin shoulders trembled as I whispered that in her ear. Later on, it seemed they got divorced. How do I know? Because the woman who used to be my ex-husband's wife told me. She didn't know she was the other woman, nor did she realize there was a chance the house had been sown with seeds of infidelity. Apparently, like me, she had been blamed by her ex-husband and ex-mother-in-law for not being able to have children. The young and earnest woman seemed to have spent even longer than me taking it to heart, but it seems my revelation woke her up. Her parents were furious at the unjust blame placed on their daughter. When her husband was forced to undergo tests at the hospital, it turned out he was almost infertile. The doctor told him that if he had undergone treatment when he was a bit younger, there might have been a chance. Truly, it's too foolish. After she explained the circumstances of their divorce, she apologized to me. She didn't deserve any blame. So I told her she could find happiness by spending her settlement money on enjoyable things just like I did. She's still young, so I'm sure she'll have plenty of good encounters ahead of her. But I can't imagine such luck would come to the worst ex-husband. Not long after breaking up with her, my ex-husband called me out of the blue. He still believed I loved him the most, so he asked if I'd come back. Of course, with the children. He was confident he could love them, if they were mine. He even suggested that there might be traces of his genes left in me from our time together, and that it wouldn't be wrong to say that those children are his. Can't you see it that way? My spine shivers as if frozen. I absolutely don't see it that way. It's really creepy, so spare me. Because your head is in the clouds like that, no children came to you. Understand? You should just spend your whole life looking after the mother who loves scummy men like you. You told me not to get close to the new bride out of jealousy. Remember that? I don't think so. I hung up the phone, ignoring the pathetic voice clinging on. It seems my ex-husband is being belittled by his own mother, called defective or something, but he brought it upon himself. My ex-mother-in-law probably won't ever get to hold the grandchild she so desperately wanted. It's all their fault, just deserts for their actions. Anyway, I'm busy today with childcare and housework for the twins. Come here and look. The kids are standing up on their own. Wait, I'll get the camera ready. Hold on, kids. Mommy's sitting in the car, so wait. Hey, Dad, that's a bit too much, you know. As doting parents, my husband and I are desperate not to miss a moment of our children's growth. Of course, childcare isn't all fun and games. But the moment when my husband smiles proudly at our children, who show us their smiles, is the happiest. What we wanted back then is right here now. May these precious days continue forever and ever.